Hello? Yeah, I'm talking to you, sassy girl. Need a little in your step? Try this song for size. It's pop.
Pop IMO.
So it's 2010. Danity Kane have officially disbanded. PCD just went on an indefinite hiatus. Girlicious had gone as fast as they came. And there were no girl groups for this 9th grader to stand. There were a couple, but they just weren't hidden in the way that I was looking for. Before I discovered K-pop and became eternally fed, I discovered E-pop. While America was in the girl group rut, England was churning out the girl groups like crazy, trying to recreate the success of the monster group Spice Girls. In June 2007, record label Polydor was on the verge of looking for the next big girl group. After an excruciating audition process, 5 girls were selected: Molly King, Vanessa White, Rochelle Humes, Una Healy, and Frankie Sanford. Fun fact, Frankie and Rochelle were in another band together called the S Club Juniors. In 2007, the girls began working on their debut album, Chasing Lights. Their first single, If This Is Love, was released in 2008. The single received mainly positive reviews and became their first top 10 hit, reaching number 8 on the UK singles chart. On October 8th, they released their debut album, Chasing Lights. It reached number 11 on the UK album chart. After releasing If This Is Love, the girls initially wanted to release Issues as their second single, and even filmed a music video for it, but their label wanted a more upbeat single, so they released Up instead. Up became their second top 10 hit. The song reached number 5 on the UK charts and sold over 400,000 copies, garnering them their first gold certification. After the release of their album and their monster hit Up, fans couldn't help but fall in love with their track Issues. And with no promotion, the song reached number 89. So the label decided to finally let them release it as their third single.
I can't decide if I should leave you or kiss you. Me and my heart, we gotta work this thing out. I don't know. Tell I wish that I could resist you. I can't decide if I should. Ooh, me and my heart, we got issues.
On January 5th, 2009, Issues was finally released and became a hit for the Saturdays, reaching number 4 on the UK singles chart and becoming the highest charting single for Chasing Lights. They sold over 200,000 copies and became certified silver by UK standards. On March 1st, 2009, the Saturdays partnered with the charity Comic Relief and released a cover of Depeche Mode's Just Can't Get Enough. The song reached number 2 on the UK singles chart, getting beat out by the monster hit that was Flo Rida's Right Round. Flo Rida had the international appeal that the Saturdays just didn't have yet. It did, however, reach number 1 in Scotland and number 10 in the Europe's Hot 100 on Billboard. Unfortunately for Comic Relief, it became the first single with the charity that did not reach number 1 in 14 years. It did, however, outchart and outsell the original, and became their highest charting single at the time. On June 29, 2009, the Saturdays released their final single from Chasing Lights, Work, which was a fan favorite. It was released solely because the fans demanded it. The song, however, underperformed and broke their top 10 streak, reaching number 22. Work coincided with the death of the legendary, iconic Michael Jackson, and a surge in sales of his music caused a lack of recognition in the Saturday single. Only 4 months after Work, on October 5th, 2009, the girls released Forever Is Over. A solid 7 days later, the Saturdays released their second album, Word Shaker. Forever Is Over was originally written for Kelly Clarkson, and I can totally hear her wailing on this song. But there was another artist who wanted it just as bad, Pink. While Pink and Kelly Clarkson were fighting for the song, The writer James ultimately gave it to the Saturdays. On January 4th, 2010, 4 months later, the girls released their second and final single from Word Shaker, Ego, garnering them their 6th top 10 hit and becoming certified gold, selling over 400,000 copies. The Saturdays decided to only release 2 singles from Word Shaker because it contained tracks that were recorded for Chasing Lights and quickly recorded while on their work tour. They wanted to take their time and actually work on brand new music. After 7 months of complete radio silence, the girls released Missing You, which reached number 3 on the UK singles chart, beaten out by Eminem's Love the Way You Lie featuring Rihanna and Flo Rida's Club Can't Handle Me. Flo Rida beating out the Saturdays became somewhat of a meme. Rochelle even joked that they will probably have to do a song with Flo Rida if they're ever going to reach number 1. Flo Rida responded by saying,
"If we could make a collaboration happen, I would be up for that. I don't know much about the Saturdays, but we put smiles on people's faces when we make music, which counts more than getting number 1s."
The girls released their debut EP, Headlines, which contained mostly tracks from their second album, Word Shaker, and just a couple of new tracks. Because Headlines was basically a re-release of Word Shaker, with only a couple new songs, their label removed Word Shaker from digital release, and the album was lost to the world for over 8 years. Luckily, through the power of social media, we were able to get the original album, Word Shaker, back on streaming sites. On October 8, 2010, they released Higher, and surprised everyone by having Flo Rida featured. The single sold over 600,000 copies. The song reached number 10 on the UK singles chart. The girls began working on their 3rd official album during their Headlines tour, with a more mature dance pop sound. On May 22nd, 2011, our top 10 queens released their lead single Notorious, which reached number 8. Though their album was incomplete, they still wanted to release it to see how the response would be to their new sound. Una is quoted saying,
"I think every artist needs to, sort of, reinvent themselves, and we don't want any track to sound like it could have been on our previous albums."
4 months later, the album was complete, and on September 4th, they released their second single, All Fired Up, and geared up for the release of their album, On Your Radar. All Fired Up is certified silver and reached number 3 on the UK singles chart. This time, they were beaten out by Maroon 5's Moves Like Jagger. On September 16th, it was revealed that Una Healy was expecting a mini Saturday, having gotten knocked up by her then-boyfriend, Ben Folden, a famous rugby player, though her dedication to the group did not waver. On November 11th the same year, the group released their final single, My Heart Takes Over. This was a major shift in sound, but it was still a beautiful song nonetheless. They released it to coincide with Una's pregnancy. It didn't, however, crack the top 10, as the girls had new competition on the block, the monsters known as One Direction. After a long, excruciating hiatus, in May 2012, the Saturdays returned to their coveted turf with the release of their 13th single, 30 Days, which reached number 7. After Una welcomes her baby, the Saturdays began working on an international release. That's right, the Saturdays were coming stateside. The Saturdays had released a statement that they had received an offer to film a reality show, consisting of only 1 season, to coincide with their first American album release. The girls started filming their reality show, Chasing the Saturdays, in 2012, and at the end of the year, they released an EP named after the show. The show was a moderate success, beating out reality veterans, the Kardashians. On December 12th, the girls released their massive hit, What About Us, to be featured on their American EP. The song was a massive success, and it featured guest vocals from the singer Sean Paul. The song is certified platinum by UK standards, selling over 600,000 copies. And after 6 long and hard years of hard work, our girls finally did it. What About Us became their first number 1 hit on the UK charts. Their TV show was essentially just a commercial in long form, showing us them recording their 4th studio album, Living for the Weekend. Unfortunately, this is where the Saturday stories end. after 6 years of hard work and bop making, and finally garnering their #1, the girls have become women and have passed on the torch to a new girl group in the making, Little Mix. After the Saturdays disbanded, Vanessa White released 2 EPs entitled Chapter 1 and Chapter 2. 22, she hasn't released anything else, but she did recently get engaged, so congrats to Vanessa on her engagement. Una, on the other hand, did release an album in 2017 and has had many singles throughout the years. She was also a judge on the Ireland's version of The Voice. Rochelle Humes married JLS singer Marvin Humes in 2012. She keeps busy with several appearances on a variety of UK television shows, but hasn't released any music since the Saturdays. Molly has released a couple singles over the years, but no actual album. Frankie has been on the quiet side of things since the Saturdays. She did compete on the show Strictly Come Dancing and made it to the finals before being eliminated. It was reported that she was working on a debut album, but put it on the shelf to focus on motherhood. Frankie has written 2 books, Open and Grow. The girls have mostly been silent about a reunion. Rochelle admitted that she checked out of that time of her life for now and doesn't see herself getting on stage and dancing again. The Saturdays were a moment, and if you missed it, you missed out on the most fun, drama-free experience you could have had in the 2000s or early 2010s. But for the 12 of us that did experience the Saturdays, they will always remain in our hearts and in our Apple Music's hidden playlist forever, and we will remember them as one of pop's greatest misconnections. Let me know down in the comment section which Saturday song is your favorite. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you like this video. See you next time.